Good afternoon and welcome to my channel. Hope everyone is well. I don't know about anyone else, but it's absolutely freezing here today. It was freezing yesterday as well. We're here today and for this week's craft with me, or craft along with me, or you know, whatever we want to call it, I thought we would make a simple layered card. I know I'm guilty as well of when I'm making cards to reach for the fancy paper pads and all the fancy decorations, etc, etc. But you know, I thought we would just make a simple layered card using two different colours of cardstock and plain cardstock, although one of them has got a pattern on it. I haven't made one of these for a while, so I thought it would be good to give it a go. So I'm going to show you what I've got, and then obviously you can see the sizes there, but I'll go through them anyway. So I'm using a 6x6 card base. This is a Ivory Tonic Studio card base. I like Tonic Studio card bases. They're really nice, but you can use whatever card base you use, or whether you make your own, that's fine. Excuse the state of my nails. Every time I do craft, I paint my nails, craft, and then the glue takes my nail varnish off. I cannot wait for the nail shops to open here in England, so that I can finally get my nails done properly. Right, so we're going to need two different colours. So I've chosen navy blue, and I've chosen this lovely patterned white. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a bit of a shimmer, and it's got like a floral and foliage pattern on it. Both of these are from Tonic Studio. So in the navy, you're going to need one 6x6, one 5x5, and one 4x4. You are also going to need, in the white, you are going to need one 5.5 by 5.5, one 4.5 by 4.5, and one 3.5 by 3.5. Or if you're using a different size card base, then adjust your sizes accordingly. This layered card does work better with a square card base, but obviously it will work in either. I just think I prefer it in square. You will then also need a stamp of your choice. I'm going to be using this stamp here, which is For You With Love, or you could use a die cut sentiment. I've got some scrap card to stamp my thing out of, and I've also die cut some butterflies because that's what I'm going to have on the top. I've done two different sizes there because I wasn't sure which one I'm going to go for, and I've cut them out in the navy because the top layer will be white, and I just thought the navy would be nice on the top. And then I've got some gems here for the body of the butterfly. So I'm going to hold those sizes up in case you want to write them down, or whether you want to pause and do a screenshot, in case you wanted to make this yourself. So there we go. I hope I've left that long enough. I will put them in the description box. So I think I'm going to do a 10 fold card. I don't normally. So the idea is that we're just going to layer this up, and I'm hoping my card base is square. Let me just check. Because quite often they're not. Might be a little off, but we'll work with that there. So it will go like this. You're just going to be putting them on alternately. I've left a 5mm quarter of an inch, not mil, quarter of an inch gap all the way around. So we're just going to put them up like that, trying to leave the same amount of gap all the way around, and then we will put the butterflies on the top. I am going to use glue, but use whatever adhesive you normally use to adhere your cardstock. So I was just making sure I'd got everything I needed then. Hopefully we get no interruptions. I was going to film this earlier, but then the window cleaner came, and my window cleaners, I don't know about anyone else's, but my window cleaners are extremely noisy. There is only 2 of them, but it sounds like there's about 10 in my garden. And they've got music blaring and shouting above the music, which I could hear quite clearly indoors. So I had to pause what I was doing, because obviously I can't film when there's so much noise, and obviously with the music being quite clear, we're not allowed to play music here in the UK unless you've paid for the privilege, because it's classed as I don't really know what they class it as. I just know that if you want to, I think it's a copyright issue, you've got to pay to have the radio on if you're sharing it, or you know, things like that. So I didn't think it would be a good idea to have to film. I'm just trying to work out which way. I think I prefer it that way. I think there is a slight, I mean, on this cardstock, I don't know what this one's called actually, but even on the underneath, you could use that size if I wanted to, but I'm not, because it's quite textured on the top. So I'm going to stick with the textured size. So what's everyone crafting today? If you're crafting, everyone go back to work after Easter if you're working. This is my first time crafting for a couple of days. Over the Easter bank holiday, I didn't really do much crafting. I spent a lot of time sorting, because I'm very lazy. I am going to need this, move this nearer me, so just while I make sure this is straight, because otherwise you're going to get my head in the shot, and you don't want my head in the shot. So I'm just going to try and get it as straight as I can, which is a bit difficult when I can't have it as near to me as I would normally. Just making sure I keep my card up the right way at all times. Otherwise I'll suddenly go from a tent fold to a normal fold, or worse, it could be back to, you know, opening up the wrong way. Yeah, I've been sorting out. I'm a very messy crafter. I'm very lazy actually. When I finish with things, I have a nasty habit of just chucking them in the nearest space, and not actually putting them away. So I've spent the last couple of days making sure everything is put away where it belongs, because everything does actually have a home. It's just I'm not very good at putting it away. I have a trolley to the left of me, a craft trolley, and I spend a lot of time just chucking things on there. Which is not good. So, I mean, I did prep everything just to make it a little bit easier. I mean, you could use glitter, or you know, the foiled cards, or the metallic cards. That I wanted it to do this, you know, as plain as possible, really, because you can get a beautiful card without all the fancy things. And I think this is a very, I mean, most of you will know how to do it, you know, so I'm probably You know, if you already know the way of doing this, then fine. You know, just, you know, I won't be offended if you don't watch. I think sometimes as crafters we like everything to be really difficult, and it doesn't have to be. You know, sometimes you can get just as much effect by just being simple. So you can see how that's so easy to put together by just going down the 1/2 inch on every cut. I mean, you could do more than 3 different layers or 3 times, but the one at the top would become really small and less effective, really. That's straight. That's not straight. There you go. It's a bit better, I think. So let me get my butterflies. So I've got 3 of each size. These are my favourite butterflies that I like to use. I might do a mixture of the 2 sizes, actually. What do we think? A mixture of the 2 sizes? Or no, I think I'm going to stick to those ones. So I'm just going to bend them because I do want it to have a bit of dimension. So I'm only going to be sticking in the centre. Did everyone have a nice Easter? I hope you did. Ours was very quiet. Not like normal other years, but so, just gonna get some of these out. Where did I put my tool? Just bear with me a moment. Not the one I normally use, but that'll do. So I'm just going to tip some of these out. Must have picked up 2 there. Not too bothered. I've probably put a bit too much glue on, but I'm not too bothered because it dries clear. You know what glitter glue does. Try and put a little bit less on these ones. That might be a bit less. This tool I'm using is a Nuvo one. It come in quite sure. It's not something I ordered, I think it just come in a bundle or something. So I'm just putting 3 gems on each butterfly. You don't have to use gems, you could use Nuvo drops, or you could just leave them. Why is it you can never get them to turn around when you want them to? Apparently this tool has a silicone nib, and then when it gets dirty or whatever, you just run it under the tap apparently, and it will it'll clean it and then start being sticky again. Can't really vouch for that because I've only just started using it. See, I was nearly going to put those back in my trolley then, rather than where they should be. So I'm just going to put them there. I don't know which size. Oh, that should be enough. I'm just going to be using a scrapper card here. I will straighten it up a bit. I'll try to. I'm not very good at cutting straight with out a trimmer. Not too bad. Yeah, that'll fit nice on there. I'm just going to cut a little bit off that because I wanted it to be backed on a bit of the blue, but not that much. Do excuse if this is not straight. I just don't want to get my cutter down. I think I'm going to be embossing the sentiment once I've stamped it with this clear embossing powder, just to make it stand out a little bit more. And that will just go like that then. I think that'd look quite nice. So let me just put the card to one side. So if I can pick this up straight. Okay. What's the matter with me today? I've got a right tickle. I'm hoping this... I think I need to re-ink on this one. A Memento ink. I've got another one. Right, I'm sorry, I am going to get my head in it for a moment, so I do apologise. I am hoping I can get it straight. Just leaving the stamp to sit on that for a bit. that's not as dark as I wanted it, but we're going to emboss it anyway, so hopefully it will be okay. If not, I'll redo it. So I'm just using my embossing buddy, so I don't get any embossing powder on it all over where it doesn't need to be. And this is I'm using the Wow Clear embossing powder. I like this one on Sentiments, but I'm not sure that that's going to be enough. There might not be enough ink on there, but if not, we'll do it again. So I've covered all that. I'm just going to put that over there. Actually, I won't, because I'll knock it flying. I'm going to get rid of it. Still miss some, but never mind. I'll pick that up in a bit. So, I'm going to emboss this, heat emboss this now, so I probably will speed up this because of the noise. So I do apologise for the noise. No, there's not enough ink on there. So just bear with me while I do another one. I didn't think there was. I'm using my Stays On ink. Hopefully this will be better than the one I just used a minute ago, because that one needs re-inking. And the only problem when you do it on a plate like this is you can't redo it. You can't unless you're very good at getting it back in exactly the same position, which I'm not. I should have got my stamping platform down really. But never mind. There we go, that's much better. So hopefully now the embossing powder will stick better. Just give it a decent coverage. Not sure that went over there. I'm just going to move that to the side rather than messing trying to get it back while I'm on camera. Where my tweezers are. See if I can find my tweezers so I can hold that rather than my finger burning. No. Oh, yeah. I've got my tweezers. There we go. So that's much nicer like that. And then we're just going to stick, just bear with me a moment while I get rid of this small amount there. Just do that. I'll switch that up in a minute. And everything flying now. So we're just going to stick this onto the navy. I'm hoping my card is still in the centre. So I'm just putting that in there. I am going to raise that for you up, because I've raised the butterflies up. So I've got some foam pads here. Perhaps if I get them in the right place. These ones aren't very thick, so I don't mind these ones. I don't like the really deep ones. Or you can use your card, packaging card, your corrugated cardboard and that we get in the boxes that we get with deliveries and things in. It can make great dimension for your cards, and it doesn't cost you anything because you get it in with your deliveries anyway. Amazon packaging is good for that. I use Amazon packaging for quite a bit. There we go. So there we go. We have a really pretty card without the use of any of the paper pads. It's just made with two colours that have been cut down in size by ½ inch each time, and that's a really, really pretty card. I mean, you could add on, I might add some Nuvo drops. Just bear with me a moment while I go and get some Nuvo drops.